Woo! See how I'm not amused? Yeah, brother, that's not the platform. That was you. Okay, nice start. Let's see if I can pick this back up. Well, hello, folks. Yes, Eric Dunn here. Ugh. All right, let's try to get this energy up, shall we? Hey, WWE is still firing up. Some pretty good surprises. And let's see if I can make this one episode where I don't yawn at all. And maybe that'll change. Well, folks, good to see y'all again. Falls Count Anywhere. We are back on the Rhode Island Broadcasting Network. And thank you all for joining me. This is going to be interesting for what we're going to be doing together. So I have the usual Raw and SmackDown results, but instead of the results, they're going to be takeaways. And it should lead to some insight, as far as I'm concerned, on the um, mm, how should I say this? On the beneficiary that is for WWE. And if there is one thing that I've known about WWE is that when they put surprises in there, they don't hold back. And that's something that when I know regarding WWE does is that they deliver and they figure it out. So one thing I'm looking at with my situation for WWE right now is what momentum do they have? And they got a lot of it. And so throughout the time together, we'll be talking about Raw and SmackDown from Monday night and last Friday night, as well as another match that has been added to Bad Blood 2.5 weeks away from the State Farm Arena in Atlanta. I've already mentioned three of the matches that have been there, but there is a fourth one that just got added, and I am stunned that they actually added it because I didn't think that they would, especially with these two. Definitely some information I'll be happy to present to you guys during our time together. So, you guys can follow me here every Wednesday night, right here on Facebook, YouTube, and on Twitch, as well as uh, Amazon, Google, Spotify, TuneIn, Popping Podcast. Follow us on our Facebook and our YouTube channels at RI Broadcasting to get more information on this. Is where you can also find me when I go off the air as well, because I believe Ron also puts me on YouTube on our YouTube channel. Also, buy me a coffee at RI Broadcasting. We can help support the program, support the show, and support us here. Patreon is where you can also be a supportive member of RIB as well as FCA and Sports Unfolded, and also going on daily. Uh, I also can tell you this as well, and I'm going to say this because I don't care. For those that were hoping to watch the full episode live of Going On Daily, I want to express my apologies and my sincerest condolences to all of you that were watching it because Ron filled me in on the crapshoot that is Restream at times. And let's just say that they've been pulling the same crap on my show as well for FCA, and we've had some difficulties with them. It's had nothing to do with Ron anyway, and it's been a pretty interesting situation because it's been a couple months now we've had to deal with our connection issues because of them. But we're hoping this is smooth sailing, and just so you know, Ron always delivers, and Going On Daily has been a really successful morning program here on RIB. And personally, I think it's been one of the, driving the bus um, mechanisms that's been really just empowering the vehicle, making it stronger. And, something about Going On Daily too that I've gotten to watch a little bit behind the scenes of is, they're kind of like an old locomotive. It might take them a while to get going, but once they do, it'll be hard as hell to stop them. And I want to make sure I take a chance to thank Ron as well for the work he's done behind the scenes and how much effort he's put in to help bring traffic to RIB. because the numbers for me has been going through the roof, and that's because of all of you as a fan. So I just want to say thank you for that as well. And also to all of you guys that are advertisers, if you would like to sponsor this program or throw a sponsor or an ad out there, your ad is going to be read here. I will not only read it so people will see it, but an audio version will be heard on Spotify, Amazon Red Circle, and many more. Those want more information, send email to the man of RIB, Rodrigo, at all one word, RI Broadcasting. Again, all one word, RI Broadcasting. And again, lowercase, all one word, lowercase, RI Broadcasting.media at gmail.com. Ron will set you up, get you ready to go, and we'll send you on your way. This broadcast and falls from anywhere is the exclusive property of Erik Dunn Productions, Rodrigo, and Rhode Island Broadcasting for the use of our audience. Any publication, reuse, or redistribution by anyone is not prohibited and is given the express consent to be shared and is greatly appreciated. And at the end of my wrestling updates, I'll also have a Boston sports update as well. Because I know that for those that are fans of my show with 990wbob.com, I'm done with sports. There was a little bit of a last minute snafu that I'll bring up to you when I close out the program. Yeah, I'm aware. I'm aware. But if you all will be able to hang on for about maybe 5 minutes, not even, after I'm done with all my wrestling stuff and Ron doesn't give me the nudge to throw me off the air, I'll be happy to tell you. So before we get into the ending, we gotta get through the middle as well. So beginning is done. Let's get into the middle. So let's begin with the SmackDown takeaways. And both of these articles here, they're by veteran NFL writer, and Pat McAfee show contributor Mark Caboli as he broke down 20 quick-hitting thoughts, which were the 20 takeaways for USA's premiere of SmackDown, the first SmackDown that USA has had in 5 years. So I will begin with okay, you know what? Yep, I will begin from bottom to the top. So, number one, smart move. Having your biggest SmackDown star start and end the show gave you no choice but to stick around for the duration. Top to bottom, SmackDown delivered one of its most complete shows of the year, blending storytelling with big time players and a good in ring product. Number two, a Ricky return? At least one more time. Why not? Number three, golf clap for Austin Theory. I'm a sucker for overselling stunners. I'll say it again. I'm a sucker for overwhelming stunners. No, not overwhelming. Overselling stunners. Um, 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 Chakra Power, I believe is their name. Chakra Power from, I believe, Twitch. Thank you for commenting and thank you for your support there. I'm a sucker for overselling stunners. I enjoy it. And just so you know, some of these takeaways I agree with too, so that's why I'm also just reading it off too. Theory may have just entered my all-time list on that stunner Owens administered. I do enjoy the stunner seller, even though I think at times they do hurt a little bit, maybe. Number four, best out of five. Carmelo Hayes and Andrade wrestled for the fifth time in recent months, which is unique. Considering we've seen these two compete multiple times, they do a good job of freshening it up and bringing the energy to make it work. Number five, RKO. Owens and Orton didn't have the most technical match of their careers. It appeared they were just out there having fun and doing some unconventional things to amuse themselves. But let's be honest, when you bring out Ricky as your partner to start, it's difficult to turn it into a serious match after that. Good point. Number six, going overtime. SmackDown going 6 minutes past 10 p.m. reminded me of the old days. Hopefully, that's not a one-time thing. Yeah, that's right. SmackDown went over. Maybe that's kind of things to come. Number 7, bad vibes. Rhodes saying that the bloodline isn't his issue and refusing to sign the contract to join Reigns in facing Solo and Jacob, something everyone wanted to see, and then telling Reigns that it hasn't been the OTC's ring since WrestleMania was very non-Cody like. The American Nightmare morphing into something a little more ruthless, just something to ponder. Not saying a heel turn, but maybe Cody's becoming to not be a pushover. Number 8, sucker for nostalgia. Some may have thought it was corny, but seeing past superstars at ringside was a nice touch that gave SmackDown an even bigger feel. Seeing legends like Rob Van Dam, RVD, Booker T, and Vicky Guerrero is never a bad thing. As well as Ron Simmons. Damn! Sorry. Damn! There we go. And Teddy Long, Teddy. Mac Militant coming to get bringing back SmackDown vibes from 20 years ago. That's interesting. Number 9, All Wrestling. The first hour of the program barely had a promo other than a quick backstage with GM of SmackDown Nick Aldis, and that was necessary to set up the end of the show. No promos for half a show was unusual, but it also gave it a premium live event feel or pay-per-view feel. Interesting. Number 10, KO never fails. Kevin Owens always delivers, and you can count on that every single time he steps into the ring. And he owned the match with Randy against A-Town Down Under. Absolutely. Number 11, line of the night. Michael Cole about the hairy back of Kevin Owens' short-lived attitude under Ricky. Is that George the Animal Steel's son? I don't remember hearing that, but Number 12, move of the night. The Cody Cutter off the cage was something unique. Rhodes adapted one of his signature moves to take advantage of the kind of match he was in. On an unrelated note, I'm a softie for cage matches, ending when they climb over and both feet hit the ground, not by a run-of-the-mill pinfall. Number 12, Reigns versus Fatu? When Reigns pointed to the middle of the ring, wanted Fatu to come and confront him, that was as powerful an image you will get in any place. If these two ever faced off in a singles match, it's going to be brutal. I think that's something we all want to see. Number 14. One more thing about Fatu. Watching him stare at Solo at the end of the show with his hands together, drinking in every single word like he was looking at his deity, was both fascinating and eerie. Even though Solo has now screwed Fatu in some way 3 weeks in a row, giving the title belt to Tongaloa, denying a title match with Cody, and yanking Fatu out of the ring when he was about to fight Reigns on Friday, Fatu isn't about to turn his back on his tribal chief. Okay? Number 15. The small werewolf can wrestle. Fatu hit the moonsault and was on the top of the cage when Reigns' music hit during the aftermatch beatdown. I was actually surprised Fatu didn't follow through with what he was going to originally do just for the hell of it. We've seen many excellent matches, including Fatu in a tag match at Bad Blood with Solo against Cody and Roman will be at the top. That's the spoiler I'll be giving you after this result. Number 16. Can't get enough of Jacob Fatu. Where do I start here? Fatu is so good at, well, everything. I was going to say being the heavy for Solo, but there isn't anything he isn't knocking out of the park these days, so it's unfair to label him as just one thing. Number 17. Low-key performance of the night. Even though Solo lost again, he put together a strong and powerful cage match against Cody. He controlled a lot of this match and hit some big spots for my personal favorite, being a toss-up between the suplex off the top rope and the power bomb into the cage. 18. Solo Sikoa's dilemma. For such a powerful leader of the top faction in WWE, Solo sure doesn't win many matches. His only title reign was the North American Championship at NXT, which was about 2 years ago, and it only lasted a week. The lack of winning is strange to me. Number 19. Reigns or Rhodes? I'll say that again. Reigns or Rhodes? Roman hasn't had a match since WrestleMania 40, has only been seen a handful of times since his return. Doesn't have a title or a faction around him now, but my feeling based on everything that happened during SmackDown is that Reigns surpassed Cody in terms of being number one with the fans, or at least close. Finally, number 20, Big Fight Feel. There have been more than 1,300 episodes of SmackDown in the past 25 years, but it's hard to remember one that had this kind of vibe. It had the star power, the atmosphere, the bloodshed, and the results of what you expect from a premium live event. Yeah, that's pretty fair to say. What do you think? However, that's the spoiler. What I think will be the main event at Bad Blood or close to it is now official. Cody and Roman are going to team up against Solo and Fatu. And listen to this. I cannot believe, with the two rivals now allied, Rose and Reigns will join forces in one of the biggest tag team matches ever in the history of this company. How about that? Pretty damn cool, don't you think? And before I go any further, it also was announced that on NXT last night, CM Punk is going to be the special guest referee when NXT goes to Chicago next week for the NXT Heavyweight Championship match between Ethan Page and Trick Williams. And Randy Orton is going to be competing in NXT in a bracket when it comes to St. Louis. And CW will be premiering those, I believe, soon. CW is going to be taking over for NXT. It will no longer be on USA. So with CW being a cable network, everyone will be able to watch NXT. Here's the problem. Well, it kind of was a problem, but not anymore. They're finally going to leave the Performance Center. I think NXT is finally going to be raking in some money. The rumors going around that NXT will be going to arenas. Is it possible? Well, let's find out if it is. Because I think so. Um, I mean, I mean, the status of this is kind of like an interesting factor here, but but October 1st will be the new home for NXT on CW, marking its first time since 2008 when it was on SmackDown. Um, it'll also include two big shows in St. Louis and Chicago, respectively, October 1st and 8th. Okay, this will see NXT leave Orlando for their weekly shows. However, which has been the brand's home since its inception, whether at Full Sail University or the NXT Arena. But we're told that the Performance Center shows for NXT are not expected to be done yet. I am hoping maybe they can finally get into some venues. Maybe. But, I mean, it is still NXT. I mean, you can't really expect that much. But, I don't know. Or maybe at least the pay-per-views, like maybe at least the premium live events for NXT could go to places. I don't know. Maybe. Uh, you know what I mean? I think it's possible, right? Maybe. However, let's move on to the 10 Raw takeaways from Monday night. Also, this article is from Mark Caboli as well. Number one, best match of the night. Raw was filled with venom on the mic heading towards Bad Blood, so the in-ring action was a little light compared to other weeks. That's not taking anything away from Bianca Belair and Io Sky, because their match was not only the best of the night, it could stand toe-to-toe with anything we've seen in quite some time. Io Sky's suicide dive was ridiculous, and my reaction to every moment of that match was, damn. Number two, is everyone afraid of Gunter? Gunter is the world heavyweight champion, but nobody but Sami Zayn wants a shot at him? You would figure that WWE superstars would be lined up to try to get a crack at him, not just Sami. I believe Gunter is ready to make up for his shocking Intercontinental title loss to Sami at WrestleMania 40 by crushing him in a match for his new title, but only after he continues to make Sami beg for an opportunity. Number three, unquestioned leader. Finn Balor had a good night establishing himself as the top guy of the Judgment Day. If you didn't already know that already, Balor was great backstage in his altercation with Rhea, and then needled her further when he said he's why Dirty Dom turned on her and went to Liv Morgan. Balor was all over the place throughout the night when he defended the World Tag Team titles with JD McDonough and stuck his nose in a backstage interview with Elijah Dragunov, and also interfered with the match between Priest and Mysterio. Altogether, Balor hit four coup de grace on the night, three on Priest and one more for good measure. Number four, Punk in Hell in a Cell. When I think of Hell in a Cell, Punk doesn't necessarily scream as a superstar best suited to it. But then again, tonight proved we are certainly seeing a different side of him now. And it's obvious that Drew McIntyre should flourish in this kind of matchup for him. However, it makes it interesting for Punk that wanted a match inside of the Steel. I thought this feud would be finished after Bash in Berlin when Punk not only made McIntyre tap out, but he hit it with four GTSs and then touched all four turnbuckles before retrieving his bracelet, but I was wrong. What else could these two possibly do to top it? Will head inside Hell in a Cell when they will put an end to it once and for all. Number five, Xavier Woods will make a pretty good villain. We all know Xavier Woods is his goofy New Day personality and some weird hairdos. But the last person I'd ever think of being pissed off is Woods. To me, that's what makes this tease of Woods turning on Cody so promising. Woods the matchup won against the Judgment Day, but Cody went behind his back and asked for help from the LWO. Woods wasn't happy that that spilled backstage. The key words out of Woods' mouth when he asked Kingston if he had his doubts, Woods couldn't handle business the same way Big E did when he was around. Let's hope there is not a big kiss and makeup session coming anytime soon because I'm ready for Woods to look in the mirror and say hello to the bad guy. Number six, maybe it's just me, but don't get me wrong. I think Sheamus is a future Hall of Famer, but I still think there's another level for him to hit in his rivalry with Pete Dunne. Hell, maybe I'm wrong, but I understand their past relationship and all that, and the two have worked their asses off on Raw with the shillelagh and the cricket bat to create some bad blood, but it let me feel like there's more fire in Sheamus that's yet to be unleashed. Number seven, something is brewing. The way Rhea looked at Jay during the first promo, having believing that Rhea is more than a little yeeted by Uso. With Uso inserting himself into the Terror Twins Judgment Day business, that rivalry looking like it might be coming toward its apex, could we be seeing these two get together in some sort of form or faction? Actually, let's hope not. I'm all for an Uso Intercontinental title run, but maybe more beyond that, it would behoove him if he did it all by himself. Breaker did hit a nerve with a "you are nothing without your family" after all. Number eight, evening things up. Bronson Reed has been on quite a run that put him near invincibility. Now, it might seem not quite that way throughout the night when a banged up Bronson Reed gave Braun Strowman gave Reed a beatdown, but not to a point where it harmed Reed's larger than life persona. It not only set up a surely to be brutal rematch, but potentially a sustained rivalry. It might be only me, but I get great enjoyment in seeing two big men wrestling, knowing that it's not going to be pretty, it's going to be hardcore. Number nine, getting personal. CM Punk set the tone with his opening promo, by the way. Why did he leave his car door open? And I didn't take the second stage saver as a family truckster kind of guy, but nevertheless, I digress. But the back and forth between Uso and Breakker on the microphone got a little uncomfortable. And if that happened, you know something went right. Braun saying that Uso is riding the coattails of his family's wrestling success and that he accomplished more in 6 months than Uso has in 14 years is the last thing a guy wants to hear who is eyeing his first WWE singles title. The retort of "I'm going to dog walk your ass," the match might end up short and sweet like your NFL career was dirty and had consequences later on. And finally, number 10, a bunch of damn moments. If you leave a Monday Night Raw with a moment where your jaw drops and all you can utter is in effect, damn, you feel like you just got done watching a great show. But what does that say when there are near half a dozen of those moments in over 3 hours? That's what you have Monday night. from the powerful CM Punk promo to kick off the night, to the final 20 seconds of back and forth from Natalya and Zoe Stark, the Jey Uso spear on Braun Breaker, Xavier Woods losing his mind on Kofi, the top rope snapping when Braun Strowman hurled Bronson Reed into it, retossing a fan out of the front row at Strowman like a spear, Strowman spearing Reed through the barricade, and then the backstage calamity that followed, all delivered a special night in Portland. Yeah, good point. So those were the Raw and SmackDown takeaways. There is one more special announcement I have to say. I never thought this would happen. Sorry. But guess what? It's going to happen. Now, we all know WWE and Peacock have a great relationship. We all know that. It's fans. However, NBC now wants in. NBC wants in on the fight. Listen to this. WWE and NBC announced the return of the iconic Saturday Night's main event, which will live on September this, which will live on. Let's try it again. WWE and NBC has announced the return of the iconic Saturday Night's main event, which will air live on Saturday, December 14th at 8 p.m. Eastern on NBC and simulcast on Peacock at the Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum on Long Island, New York, the site of the first ever Saturday Night's main event. This marks the first primetime special, which will air quarterly on NBC and Peacock as part of WWE's new 5-year domestic media rights partnership with NBC Universal, which officially kicked off last Friday with SmackDown on USA. Additionally, official Saturday Night Main Event Priority Passes are available now through exclusive partner on location, offering fan premium seating, hospitality events with superstar appearances, exclusive photo opportunities, and much more. Saturday Night's Main Event originally premiered on NBC in May of 1985. Yeah. How about that, folks? How cool is that? And also, the last show that it had was this. So the last time that it aired was this. So WWE, when they revived it, it was revived in 2006 as a special series to air on occasion on NBC as part of a deal between WWE and NBC Universal. The Raw, SmackDown, and ECW brand rosters appeared on that show. It returned to NBC on March 18, 2006 in a primetime slot. It aired on a 1-hour time delay. The second episode aired live, with the 3 remaining episodes airing at a later date. Since 2009, Saturday Night's Main Event was replaced instead with WrestleMania, the world television premiere. After SmackDown returned to USA last week, following the expiration of WWE's contract with Fox, the WWE entered an agreement, $1.4 billion over 5 years. Yeah, $1.4 billion over 5 years. That's crazy. And guys, here's what I remember in those matches. Let's see. March 18th, 2006. It was in Detroit. HBK, Shawn Michaels, Shane McMahon in a street fight. July 15th of 06, Dallas, Texas, the American Airlines Center, AAC, John Cena and Edge for the WWE title. Then it went to Toronto on May 28th, aired on June 2nd. August 13th, 07, aired on August 18th, Madison Square Garden. Aired on August 2nd, 2008, but was recorded on July 28th. Verizon Center in Washington, D.C., Edge and Jeff Hardy. That's some big news, guys. Saturday night's main event is coming back. So now I'm going to give you my non-wrestling news before I officially get you guys out of here, so I can get out of here. So I'm done with sports. Will not be on WBOB this week because we are taking the week off of an unexpected layoff for 1 week. So I'll be back next Wednesday, the 25th, for that show. But I'm probably having two games to recap because Pats lost their home opener at Gillette on Sunday in overtime to the Seahawks, 23-20. And tomorrow night, they're at MetLife against the Jets. Here's my take on this, and I'm going to make this brief. 3 games, their first 3 games in 11-day span. Talk about being thrown to the wolves. You know what I mean? If they could survive this, it'll be a miracle. Just saying. Do I think that they can survive it? I hope so, but I can't say for sure. Here's what I will also tell you as well. That on top of that, I've also mentioned to you as well before that if the Pats can go 2-2 over these 4 games, I'll be a happy guy because you're halfway there. Everyone predicted 5 wins or under. The over/under is 5.5, and I bet the over because I think this team is more than capable of winning more than 5 games. However, you have 10 days after tomorrow to get ready for the 49ers, and they are not going to be having 2 of their best players face you. There's no excuse to not win that game. So we'll see. But I say 2-2 or 3-1. If we go 1-3, Drake May will be coming in for October. Mark my words on that. And then finally, it is also a very sad day for Red Sox Nation. The Sox have now dropped under 500 for the first time in a few months. I don't have the exact date on me, but I know it's been a long ass time. I believe their season has come to an end with 11 games remaining, and you're a game under 500. And yeah, the bullpen sucks. The rotation has done all they can, but the bullpen just finds ways to blow leads now. All we can hope for is that the young guys coming up from Worcester potentially over these next week and a half could get a chance. But mark my words on this. The people that we could not have in 2024, they'll be coming back next year in 25. We will be a much better team because I guarantee you they'll be working on that bullpen and that rotation. Our offense is not going to be the issue, and our defense is fine. Our rotation just takes a big hit. And also, we don't have a fifth arm either. Because don't forget, when we resigned James Paxton from the Dodgers, he got hurt again, and he's done. He's going to retire. And also, in other news, Joe Castiglione, after this season, is going to be done after an incredible 42-year WEEI broadcasting career as the voice of Red Sox baseball. And we will be saying goodbye to yet again another Boston broadcasting legend. Jack Edwards, he's retired. The voice of the Celtics from Comcast Sportsnet and NBC Sports Boston, Mike Gorman, he's done. Judge Surratt is going over to replace him with Andy Brickley on NESN for the Bruins broadcast. So he'll no longer be on the Sports Hub with Bob Beers. That'll be Ryan Johnston. And now, whoever's going to be up next in line, I think it's going to be Sean McDonough and Will Fleming. I think that's going to be the 1-2 punch. But as far as I'm concerned, I think Will Fleming should get the promotion to be the play-by-play with Joe because he deserves it. I mean, this guy was in Pawtucket for years, got called up, and I love hearing his voice, man. Like he's just energetic and he's a delight to my ears to hear. He really is. But it sucks. Jack Edwards gone. Mike Gorman gone. Don Orsillo went to the Padres. Gil Santos passed away. Gino Cappelletti, don't know what's going on with him at all. Um, oh, sorry, he died as well 2 years ago at the age of 88. So the two guys that were there for how many years? 42 potentially, 30 or more for Pat's radio calls between WBCN and Sports Hub. They both died. Like we're getting a new generation now, which is fine. But to me, it's just a sad day for Red Sox Nation because I'm a part of the fan base. I root for them to win. Maybe they'll show us something in these last 11 games, but I think it's safe to say that it's over now. And it's a damn shame that it's over. But you know what? The bullpen blew any opportunity. They've had an under 500 record since the All Star break. Not overall, just a record after the All Star break. Because the bullpen sucks. When you rely heavily on your offense every night to bail you out, what do you think that'll do to you? It shows the cracks of the weaknesses of your team. And so close, not quite, is basically going to be the conversation of the Red Sox again. But I will give them credit on one thing. They got a hell of a lot closer to a postseason berth than they have the last 2 years. So you know what? I give them credit for them fighting back. But honestly, the inexcusability of the front office of John Henry and Tom Warner of not spending the money to get better arms is an absolute disgrace when Henry's putting his money in BS that doesn't even make any sense. So as far as I'm concerned, Craig Breslow, whatever the hell his name is, Breslow. Craig Breslow is going to have a long off season and a long winter, as far as I'm concerned. And that organization needs to get their heads out of their ass. But as far as I'm concerned, the Bruins are worse too. Because Jeremy Swayman hasn't been re-signed yet. And no contract means no camp. So Swayman is still an unrestricted free agent. Weedus is gone. We trade Allmark away. I'm more nervous for Red Sox and Bruins than I am Patriots. Because I think the Patriots are going to have a much better year. You know what I mean? I think the Pats are going to have a much better year. I'd be nervous if you are a Red Sox and Bruins fan right now. Because they're both in turmoil. At least the Patriots did improve and they actually spent money. Okay. Maybe there's not many household names, but you know what? Talent doesn't make up for heart. And I think that the Pats will find a way to have a successful season. Might be 500 the whole way, but I'm hoping for a successful season. I think they can do 500. I think they have the capability to do that. It's just that the offense needs to stop playing conservative football. They got to be a little bit more of a risk taker. But you know what? We are a running team. 180 yards on the ground against Cincy, 188 against Seattle. I mean, Ramondre Stevenson, Antonio Gibson, they're off to a great start. The running game's there. It's just that Jacoby Brissett, how's he going to do at MetLife tomorrow night? Because he took some really bad hits on Sunday. And you know what? Everyone can say all they want that we'll be 5.5 or under. But you know what? let's get through October first. Let's get through the first 8 weeks. Once we pass October, then we can check in and see where we're at. But as far as I'm concerned, there should be no reason why they can't get 5 wins by then. Because I believe in this team, and I think that they're going to be fine. If you can beat up on the 49ers and you can get this win on a short month, not much time to rest, I think they'll be okay. So with that being said, thank you for allowing me to give you my updates there. So next week's broadcast, the Raw and SmackDown takeaways, if I can find those again from Mark Caboli from WWE.com, and any more updates on Bad Blood. So, Erik Dunn here with everything done. Cross the T's and dotted the I's. So long and thank you from my home in Bridgewater, Massachusetts. This has been another presentation of Falls Count Anywhere and Ron Rhode Island Broadcasting Network. And for those interested, and I'm done with sports, if you want to catch up on my last week's program, that's up on 990WBOB.com. I'll be back next week to recap probably both of the games between the Hawks and Jets because they're both playing the same week anyway. So, till this week, guys, thank you for watching and listening.